want to start with the poll question? Better actor, Alec Baldwin or Harrison Ford?
Alec Baldwin as Alex Smith. We can all go home.
You like
the
that?
analogy of the day has been made.
Is that your answer, though? You're going with Harrison Ford?
I think we got to go Harrison Ford with longevity points there. Good question, though.
All right.
Could have a good debate about that one.
How much time did you spend with Conor McGregor?
Funny you should ask. I'm just telling someone this. 3 things you should never see being made are laws, sausages, and interviews with Conor McGregor. This was an adventure. We finally got him, but it was it took a while. And I mean, I had dealt with him previously, so I wasn't starting from scratch. And when we finally got him to sit down, he was terrific. I mean, it was a great interview, and I think at some level, this is what happens in a sport like the UFC, where the athletes are individual contractors and they sort of do whatever they want. But you talk about style and substance, I would maintain that Conor McGregor is loaded in both categories.
But is this who he is or who he's become?
I think he plays the game very well of promotion, and I think it's all done with this sort of sly wink. I mean, you mentioned the kerfuffle yesterday at the weigh-in, which has become, that's just it's almost like a prerequisite. You don't get your check unless you do something crazy a few days before the fight. No, this is a measured, considered guy, and I think I wrote this in the story that he looks at promotion the same way he looks at defending the takedown from the wrestler or the spinning back fist against the cage. It's just another dimension of fighting to be mastered. But his personality is not the guy you see screaming at the press conferences.
Is he great?
The thing about UFC is the data points are so minimal, it's hard to tell. I mean, I thought Ronda Rousey was great at this time last year. He sure has looked good in his 5 UFC fights. You get in there and it's a bad day, or you fight someone where it's not a good matchup, or you make a tactical, strategic mistake, and suddenly you have a bad loss on your record and you're less great. But he's been terrific, and he's fought different types of fighters. He's fought his last fight, and which wasn't that long ago in December, at 145 pounds. And he's fighting tomorrow at 170.
Yeah.
So there's a certain versatility to him. So far, he's been great. I would say this is the real deal. This is not someone that's being propped up because he sells a lot of pay-per-views.
Where'd he come from?
He comes from Dublin. Comes from Ireland, and he was sort of fighting on these underground undercards. I mean, not that long ago. Dana White catches wind of him, watches a couple of YouTube clips, says, hey, this kid can fight a little, and he sure seems to have a following, and he's got a pretty colorful personality. Let's give him a shot. He's had 5 UFC fights, and he has looked terrific in each of them and successively better. And right now he is the belt holder in one division, and he's going for a second. I mean, this fight tomorrow against Diaz it's a bit unfortunate. I mean, this is sort of the guy who's supposed to fight got hurt, and the fight was on, and they threw in a last-minute replacement. It's a little bit of a no-win scenario for McGregor. He either loses and his aura is diminished, or he beats this guy, and they say, big deal, it's Nate Diaz. You were supposed to fight the champion. But UFC hasn't had this before, a guy having 2 belts simultaneously.
How important is he to the sport?
I think tremendously, and I think part of that is Ronda Rousey. And she was far and away the biggest star as recently as a few months ago. And she didn't just get beaten by Holly Holm. I mean, she got beaten in bold and italics and a yellow highlighter. And I'm not still convinced Ronda Rousey is going to fight again. But regardless, she is. I mean, you saw that Ellen interview, and she had these suicidal thoughts after that fight. I mean, she's really seems to be in a pretty fractured place right now. And Conor McGregor, a few weeks later, he predicts this knockout. He doesn't just, he doesn't just uphold his prediction. He beats this guy in 13 seconds to win the belt. He's global. He's out there. He's this personable guy. Now he's far and away UFC's biggest star. It's a big deal. I mean, I don't know what the UFC is doing, giving him this fight tomorrow again in this kind of no-win situation. But they need to have him, and they need the pay-per-view, and he wanted to fight, so it's on. But he's huge. He's hugely important for the promotion right now.
Yeah, and the timing's everything. I think the fact that you had Rousey, all eyes were on her, and then you know how fragile that's the amazing part of it, John, is that they lead with their invincibility, but you realize how fragile their invincibility is. We saw it with Tyson, Rousey. I don't know if it happens with Conor McGregor. Is he wired differently? That, let's say, and he'll lose one day, but when he loses, what does that do to his personality?
I think it's all circumstance. I mean, if Ronda Rousey had lost a close decision or if there'd been some flash knockout, I think it's much different than what happened in November, where she was just thoroughly, bell to bell beaten and finally knocked out with that kick to the head. But you're right. I mean, that's one thing that I'm in the bag for MMA. I think this is a great sport. I know I am not in unanimous position here, but yeah, I mean, this is like Steph Curry not having a bad game or even a bad couple games. This is like Steph Curry being Steph Curry one day and then being, Ty Lawson the next. I mean, the losses knock you down real fast. And yeah, again, Conor McGregor will probably lose one day. I think there's a big difference between, is he going to get pummeled? Is he going up in weight? I mean, I think the fact that he's fighting at all these different weights help him a little bit, that he can say, yeah, I lost at 145, but really that's not my right weight class anyway. Or he can say, tomorrow I lost at 170, but heck, a few weeks ago I won the belt at 145. That kind of gives him a little bit of a built-in alibi, but yeah, this sport mints stars very quickly and topples stars very quickly.
John, good to visit with you. The book is This Is Your Brain on Sports, for sports fans searching for a deeper understanding of the games they watch and the people who play them. What was the one thing you take away from the research you did on that about that topic?
I would say this coach's notion that competition makes us stronger, it's really, really true. And we do better when we compete, and when it's a rivalry game and we really compete, it's no myth and it's no kind of locker room cliche. Rivalry really does do some amazing things to our performance and even our physiology. I mean, our testosterone levels are different when the Yankees play the Red Sox than when the Yankees play the Twins. It's pretty remarkable what competition does to all of us.
The book is This Is Your Brain on Sports. Good luck with the book. Thanks for joining us, John.
Hey, thanks, Dan. Anytime.
All right.